Now this is a list of materials, bolt-on stuff. It's not raw materials, but things like, so you'll need a front wheel and a front tire. I use a 16-inch, and I like the 100-80, which is what used to be called a 350/16. I do not like a big fat tire up there because that's just more weight that you have to manhandle, and it just makes it more work for you. The size that I use works really well. It grips the ground real good, so that's it. You'll need bearings that go inside of here. Depends on whatever shaft you're using, but you need sealed bearings that go inside this rocker. Okay, so enough for two pair of those. You'll need a front shock. This particular one looks like a 750 Honda rear shock. Works real good. This style of front end does not demand a bigger, heavier shock than that. A lighter weight shock works real good. You'll need a pair of turn signals, your choice. You'll need a headlight. Okay. You'll need a master cylinder for the brakes, and either a master cylinder or a cable for your clutch. One of the two. Again, there's that bolt and the bearings. You'll need a throttle. You'll need 2 mirrors. This throttle is, I like to run the 1-inch Barnett throttles. This one isn't. In fact, I'm recommending he get rid of this because this is going in the wrong direction. It should go that way. You'll need a horn button. You need some grips. And let's see, I run my throttle cable. My throttle cable actually comes around and right into this, which is a 5-foot brake line that's just welded on, and my housing, my throttle housing actually ends right here. It starts at the throttle and ends right here. So I'm running about 2.5 foot of throttle housing. That's it. The rest of it is in this tube. Okay. You'll need switches. I have an on-off switch, a start button, a switch for the turn signals, which I use center off, so it's right off, left off, center off. And I use center off for the headlights and for the turn signals. So one side on the headlights, one side is high beam and the other side is low beam. Okay? So that's all the switches that you need besides the horn button that's up above. You'll need a regular shifter assembly, standard VW. If that's what you're running, VW is fine. And you have to kind of make your own linkage setup. It's not that hard. You'll need a battery. Brake light sending unit. If you have it on the master cylinder, that's even better. Otherwise, you have to run 2 T's. One here and one here. You need some kind of gas tank. Of course your motor. Your tail lights. I think legally you only need 2 tail lights, legally, but you got to have turn signals and stop lights and running lights. And I believe in the more light the better. You need a license plate light. Let's see. For this you need foam and fabric vinyl to do your upholstery. I use rebonded foam with a topper pad on top of it. Okay. Let me see. Let's go back to electrical. You need wire. You need terminals, terminal blocks. The switches we already talked about. The flasher. I use a Ford starter solenoid. It takes all the pressure off of the switch and makes your switch last longer. You need a headlight. You need turn signals. You might want to run drive lamps. When I wire drive lamps up, they're hooked to the high beam. So you turn your high beam on, drive lamps are on. That's it. Tail lights, license light, and you got to have a high beam indicator someplace. On this one, it's up there on top of that. Okay.